Hello.
Are you ready? Ready for the fateful movie I didn't cry through for the first time ever?
Bro, I just have one question.
Okay.
Who's the best dog in the West? Old Yeller.
Dude, couple notes. I'm noticing a trend with parenting in these movies. Like, the mother, I don't know if it was how it was written in the 1950s,
Oh, bro, don't.
1960s, but it was kind of just like, free range children. Yeah, be a man, shoot a gun. You're the man now. You have to take care of everything. All the responsibilities lie on you. And this kid is like 12, like maybe 10.
I thought he was 13.
It's very unclear.
I was thinking like early teenager. Maybe
Dude, go ahead.
I was thinking like early teenager. Like maybe 15 max. Because he wasn't 16.
No, he was way too young to be that high up. He was like a preteen at best.
Think so?
I'm hoping.
Hold up. I kind of want to look this. If I go, just keep talking. I'm gonna go quiet for a second. I want to look up their ages.
But
If it doesn't give me the actual actor's age, so give me 1 second.
do you want me to pull it up on my computer?
You know what? That'd work. Yours probably be fast. Yeah, pull up how old he was in the movie. I'm curious.
Okay.
Do. Quick little intermission. Boom, boom, boom. Old Yeller. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie. The opening song, I forgot that there was like a little theme song, and it was bopping.
The actor died at 66. Let's see. Oh, that's Kevin Corkin, the youngest son.
Yo, I could not stand the younger kid.
Oh, he was 14.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought early teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, Travis was 14. Surprisingly. But dude, some of the stuff in this movie, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't hate. Like the animal training for this movie.
Oh, it was good enough. I wish there were some behind. See. That's one thing that always interested me. That we don't see a lot in this in modern day cinema.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the old school animal training.
But it was a lot more of hands-on. Like I'm not kidding. Like all the animals were like very well trained for a Disney movie in the 1957. But I looked some of the stuff up because I wanted to be sure I knew what I was talking about. But the for the movie from the 1950s, animals were expertly trained. They were expertly, like, for an instance, the wolf was actually a German Shepherd dressed up to look like a wolf, and both the dogs were trained to play fight and had both of them had muzzles on the entire time to avoid accidental injury. The dog that actually played Old Yeller appeared in She Creature. The dog's name was actually Spike.
Okay.
Now, in the continuing about the dog, so in the movie they used a golden lab, but in the book Old Yeller, it was a black-mouthed cur, which would just be less bulky and less muscular in appearance, more slimmer frame, if you will.
Okay. Yeah. You're the edible expert. I figured you'd go into depth about the whole. Yeah. Anyway, so you said in the book. I didn't even know Old Yeller was a book.
Yeah, you didn't have to read it.
No, bro. So here's the thing, and just rewatching this movie, I asked myself why. Like, the first time I ever heard about Old Yeller was in third grade. We watched the movie, And now I'm thinking to myself, why did I watch this as a third grader? Why did we watch this movie as a third grader? Because some scenes, I'm just like, what?
Dude, when I was a kid, the first time I watched it, I watched it and I was on the floor crying for like an hour or so. So I was and I'm gonna be honest with you, until like this is the first time I ever watched it and not cry. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just that broken inside because as of 2020, I lost my dog, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been weird since. But this is the first time I watched it without crying.
Are you kidding me? I remember watching this in third grade. I was like the boy, the guys in the class. We were all like, "What the heck?" And the girls, were crying. And then the teacher goes, "Well, that was Old Yeller. Pull out your math sheets. We're gonna do multiplication tables." And I'm just over here like, "What? You just shot the dog."
Dude, I related a lot to Travis, like with the dog, because I used to like jump the fence every day after school, go take care of my neighbor's dog, and then he was trying to get rid of this dog, and then he was like, "Listen, I don't want this dog. I found it on hunting land. It's got a deformed back paw. It's a German Shepherd. It's a big dog. I don't want it. I don't want any animals." My parents are like, we already got 4 animals. And he's like, "Well, please tell your son to use the gate next time because he keeps jumping the fence and I don't want him to break the fence." Dude, I used to read to that dog every day after school. I used to play with it. Her favorite sport was football. She also liked watching football games.
Speaking of Golden Retrievers, are the Air Bud movies on Disney? I'm surprised I haven't seen that popped up.
No, Air Bud is not, but some of the Air Buds, like B-U-D, not Buddy, but some of the Air Buds, plural, like the baby ones, are not all of them. Yeah, it's a very weird, like, I don't know why, but not all of them are on there. The Air Buds, like the baby ones, but Air Bud is like not on there at all, which I could have sworn was a Disney property.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna say that was like Air Bud. I think came out in the early 2000s, and that was kind of our.
I thought it was 90s.
Well, I think the spin-offs were the 2000s. I think you're right. It was like 90s, probably late.
Yeah, like the Air Buddies, like the baby ones, are like saying baby. I'm getting a lot of messages, and it's gonna mess with. Why is the group chat so active right now, Devin?
I'm not in it.
I know you're not in it, but it's like blowing up every couple minutes.
Bro, you don't want the half of it. My coaching group chat's always blowing up.
Dude, the name of oh yeah, there's some other others. Yeah, the name of the group chat is Crackhead. So.
Golly. That's alright. You ought to see. I ought to let you read these coaching group chats, bro. It's wild.
Yeah.
I also gotta tell you something funny, but I'm not gonna tell you over the podcast.
Okay.
I'll snap you. I'll snap you later, and I'll text to you through Snap.
But here's a fun fact for you. I remember there's a lot of Disney fun facts about Old Yeller because it was a what's it called, Musketeer, like movie, and they like there was the whole thing with Spike at the end of the movie. They're like, no dogs were actually harmed in making this, and they went over a lot of the training on the original VHS.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But this was the Disney movie debut of Tommy Kurt and Kevin Cochran, who ironically both appeared in Swiss Family Robinson and The Shaggy Dog.
Huh. Did not know that. I never heard of those movies.
The Shaggy Dog?
Yeah, I've never heard. Wait a minute. Is that Tim Allen movie where he gets turned into a dog? That's
the modern one.
Okay, that's the modern one.
I'm going to be honest with you. The Shaggy Dog series is one of my favorites, too. So you're going to expect that later on, just so you know.
Okay. I remember going seeing the modern one with Tim Allen in theaters because like my grandmother and grandfather liked the dog movies, too. You know, they used to like they liked, like, Old Yeller was one of their favorite ones, but anyway, like the dog movies, and Bro, we gotta rewatch Alvin and the Chipmunk. We gotta dive into one of those movies. I just want to laugh at the bad CGI.
You know, who is it? You know who voices Theodore is the guy from Criminal Minds, right?
You did tell me that.
Well, 'cause I found out and I was like, no, there's no way. And then I listened to it slow down. I was like, wait a minute.
We'll have to talk about that. But anyways, there is one thing I will say about back to Old Yeller. I know we usually go off on a tangent.
Yeah, that is very true.
What if people listen to these podcasts just so we just go off script and we just ramble?
Well, so far we got two listeners in the first one.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we're filming this one kind of in advance with your football season, so I mean, overall, we're doing pretty good so far for our first episode being out.
Let's go 2 episodes. 2 plays.
I mean, that's better than nothing.
That is very true. What if you can't see it, but I just shot a little confetti.
You do not have to eat confetti.
No, I don't. But I want the listeners to imagine I'm just sitting there shooting the confetti. Have a little banner that says 2 plays.
One can dream. Maybe if we get a big enough following, somebody can animate that.
Yo, that would be. Yo, what if you remember how Death Battle wasn't animated? Now,
You mean when they do live action?
No, you remember how it was just you know how Wiz and Boomstick were just voiceovers?
Yeah.
And now they're animated.
Dude, I'm fearful to know what they would think we are as people. Like, I've described myself as Wolverine looking, as Harry Potter looking, as a love child of Harry Potter and Wolverine. There's a lot of questionable areas that this could lead us in.
All I know is I bet my character's gonna have a goatee.
You
and
don't
a
have
shotgun leg.
You don't have either of those.
Let a man dream. I want to be like my hero, Boomstick.
I know a guy who's exactly like Boomstick, which is weird.
Alright.
Here's my friend from high school, that dumb redneck type. And you had me, this little nerdy guy. Dude, you could write a script.
Alright, back to Old Yeller. I lost my... Okay. Hey, did
Let's
you
take
know...
a break real quick.
Huh?
Let's take a break real quick for an ad.
Oh, okay.
Say something?
Hello?
Okay, that's better. You sounded like you were like really far away for a second there, and I got worried.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't... Mom, I had to clear my throat.
That would not explain that, but okay.
Well, my voice is kind of hoarse from...
That would not explain it either.
Anyways. Dude, I had a killer sore throat. I ain't gonna lie to you yesterday. Or like early in the morning, I had to drink some...
You dehydrated again? You are closer to Florida now.
No, it was just... Bro, these kids just respond better getting yelled at. It's the weirdest thing.
Fairly certain some psychological study would disagree, but okay.
You'd have to see it. You'd be like, what? But anyways, back to Old Yeller. Cause we're gonna get down the rabbit hole.
You were about to say something.
Oh, did you notice Okay, I noticed this near the end, and I should have gone back and looked at bits and pieces. Did you notice when Old Yeller barked, he wasn't really barking?
I mean, yeah, they're out in a field in California. Oh, spoiler. It was actually shot in California, not in Texas, like the book is.
Oh man, I thought it was Texas this entire time.
Oh no, it was actually shot and filmed in California.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, a lot of people were shocked to find that out, and I didn't know why.
Well, I
You know,
mean,
they apparently they just didn't expect California to have parks that looked like that back in the 1950s.
you guys. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I honestly just assumed. Excuse me. I just assumed somewhere out in Texas too, like the Woodin area in Texas. But no. Oh, the younger son. That's another thing I was going to talk about. I could not stand the younger boy.
Really?
I just.
I couldn't. Here's the thing: the main kid, Travis Codis, is written like an old man, and I say that as
Oh, I
somebody
have my. I'm gonna
who's
get
like an old soul.
true.
But
I agree. I have my 2 cents about him, but I agree with you there.
I understood the younger kid more. Like, okay, I was like, okay, yeah, that's how a kid's supposed to act. You know, one to go do adventures on their own, like have a little fuzzy companion. Like,
Yeah.
I understood that, but the way he said some things pulled me out of it because it was like that's how my grandmother would say it. That's phrases my grandmother uses, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, I don't know if it was the dialogue fit for the movie, or if they were. I don't think it's how they would probably say it back then. There were some parts that was and wasn't. But
yeah, no. That's like something.
He was written like a boomer, though.
The younger kid?
Yes.
I didn't think of it that like. I mean, yeah, he did play like an actual kid, but jeez Louise.
I thought Travis was more annoying than the younger kid.
Oh, I'll get to him in a second. That's like the younger kid to me. I was like, man, can you calm down? Because he was all adamant about like once something was on his mind, it was on his mind.
I couldn't tell if he had ADHD in the movie or not.
I think they just told him, hey, act, rambunctious, act energetic, like.
Not much directing, just giving a script and like, go do this, kid. Like some of it seemed like he was just being the kid, and they were like actually capturing that on camera, like the horny tone situation.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. The mom was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, that made me laugh." I don't know why that made me laugh with the little lizard.
Anytime this kid had to bring an animal, it was like the directors knew what they were doing. Like, yeah, just give the kid an animal, and the kid would be like, "Here, mom," and like genuinely give it to her, and you could see the horror in the woman's face. Like,
see, I think the lady was legit scared of the animals, and they didn't tell her.
Oh no, like I don't think they told her at all. Like, she was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be in this movie. There's gonna be some animals." And they didn't tell her about the small ones, and just let it happen.
They were probably like, "Oh yeah, there's a dog," and she's like, "Oh, I like dogs, but I don't like snakes or lizards."
You know who she reminded me of in the movie?
Who?
She reminded me of like Rita Farr in Doom Patrol, that old like 1950s actress who thinks she's hot shit.
I've not seen Doom Patrol.
No, like you've seen at least, you've heard of it at least, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the DC show. I've only watched
like comics.
Oh, the comics. I have not read Doom Patrol comic neither.
You haven't hidden any. Sorry, I'm struggling with my ADHD. You haven't hit any of them up on Comicstorian?
No. Should I? Are there any good stories on there?
Oh, Doom Patrol is great. They're basically like the X-Men, but weirder.
But weird. All right, I'll check them out on Comicstorian. I mean, I could probably go to one of them local comic shops, but I'll hit them up on Comicstorian.
But basically, Rita Farr is like a 1950s actress who thinks she's like hot shit, and then gets this fall from grace where she develops her powers and she can't control them. She feels like a monster. But that's the basic bit of it. But she gave me the Rita Farr vibes of, oh, I'm hot shit. I'm in this box office. I am the bitch. And then that's the way her face made me feel like watching the movie. It is no fault to her own. Like, she may be a great person, but she oozed that old like Hollywood vibe. Like, oh yeah, I'm a big name. or something like that in her face. But dude, her character like was not a great mother. It was like, oh, she's a woman. She can't have too many lines. Make the kid the main character next to the dog. Like she didn't mother at all.
I mean, I thought she was a good supporting character.
Yes, supporting, but she wasn't like taking charge like a mother would, you know?
True. She, like you said, they were like, "Oh, children, run free."
Yeah.
Then you got the dads like, "I'm gonna go make $5 hurdling cattle and buy you a nice dress."
Okay, I mentioned that it's in the 1950s several times. So a lot of the issues with a lot of movies back then, like women can't have like show too much leadership, like willingness to like to provide and stuff like that. Or that's where the femme fatale comes from. Like if you're an empowered woman, you're a villain back then. That's how it is. Like you're coming into some man's life to destroy it. That's typically how it's seen. So like the whole subservient patriarchy, like stupid stuff, is where this is coming into play and how her character was done.
Seems legit. She did kind of take a. I want to know where she learned. Okay, I want to learn where she. I want to learn how she learned to bandage people up because she saved Old Yeller. Like I'm talking like.
Yeah.
Oh. Like where'd she learn all them skills? I was more interested in that. I was like, wait, where did mom learn all these skills?
It's for prairie life, Devin. I'll let you pick up some skills. You gotta survive or you will die. And dude, the parents in this movie were horrible. Like Mr. Cersei just seemed creepy and like a hypochondriac.
Hold up. Before we get to you know what? Let's talk about Mr. Cersei's real quick. I can't stand him.
I hated this mother trucker.
I fucking hate, dude. After when he first showed up, I remembered him as a kid. And
I don't remember him being this creepy though.
I don't either. I guess that's one of them things when we first watched as a kid, it kind of flew over our heads.
Yeah.
But I guess we're adults now and we can pick up on that stuff. He was just a creep, and he got on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie. He was a creep. He was trying to get free food, and the mom knew. That's when I knew that he was a creep and like a bum because the mom's like, "Shut up." Wait, what was the youngest boy's name again?
I don't remember, honestly.
Poop. And Arnis. She's like, "Hush, Arnis. Mama went supper. Hush, Arnis." Trying to make.
Boy, when is supper? And I'm like, oh, fuck no.
Exactly.
Get this man out of the house and away from children. And then he has a daughter.
No, I think
he's not a great parent either. He seems like the lazy asshole who makes the kids do everything.
Oh no, I could tell the way he acts. He was just like, "Yeah, man, my boy's gotta eat." And I legit thought he was gonna try to sleep with the mom. I was like, I bet you they thought they tried to give him. He gave me that vibe that he wanted to sleep with the mom.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought when I first heard his name, I thought his name was Mr. Sissy. Because back then that was okay. So my reasoning for this is, okay, it's cattle time. He's not taking care of the cattle with the other men. He stayed behind, which typically means that you're slow, you're effeminate. It's a derogatory term for the time. They're typically that if you're staying behind, either you're not really fast enough for that, you can't physically do it, or other stuff. But at the same time, you got this other handsome stranger wandering into town. Why?
John Wayne. Was that John Wayne?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was like, that looks like John Wayne. I was like, that can't be John Wayne. That does not
look like John Wayne.
Oh, it didn't?
No, John Wayne has like I hate to say this, but he has a kind of bigger head.
You say a bigger head?
Yes. Like he's more like my build, like kind of squarish. This guy was like slenderish.
Like, I like this character for
I
minutes
know
that
he was a good character, but I had more questions than answers when he just strolled in like, well, ma'am, I'm sure we can make payment for the dog.
that's my dog. I'm just like, why does every man in here want to sleep with the wife or the
No,
mom?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Part of me was like, oh, I swear I don't remember there being a sexual thing in this. Because I kind of like put those things to the back of my mind. But I was like, please don't let this be in it. I was like, okay. He was like, if you can feed me, and then I'll give the kid a warning about the I forget what they call rabies, but I'll give the kid a warning about the rabies.
Yeah,
And then,
that's what it was. It was rabies. He was like, I'll tell the boys about the rabies now if you give me a
I mean,
nice meal.
no, which he should have just to begin with. I'm pretty sure he would have done it if he was taking Old Yeller or not. But he was like, you know what? You got a meal for me? You got that horny toad? I'll take the horny toad in his payment. And I'll make sure he's taken well care of. He was great with children. I'm going to be honest with you. The best parent in this movie, which is this lone stranger, and I had questions why all the other men were off that were physically fit. What was the reason he was staying behind? Was he that
Yeah,
loose?
I like the scene where like Otis has to go talk to him, and it's like a standoff. Like he's just mean mugging him. Otis is like, go, and I was like, hey, it's like a Western vibe.
Dude, I was half expecting to like, bam, shoot the kid. My dog now. But I was like, I know that's not gonna happen. I'd be like, I would like to see that. Just him shooting a kid point blank me, like, my dog now, kid.
I could see it. I thought so. Like the way they angled it, I'm like, I know he won't do it, but that would have been funny. My dog now, and just rides off.
I will say the Old Yeller is the goodest boy of the West.
He's the best dog in the West, dude. That music number was bopping. I ain't gonna lie. When I watched it the other night, I started it.
Oh no, that song was great.
I
and
like.
then they did the song at the end for the puppy.
Yeah, Puppy Yeller.
Yeah, plot twist. Old Yeller, the town line of Old Yeller is Airbud.
Yo, that's a film theory.
That could be. I doubt it. But I mean,
I'm sure it's out there on the internet. Oh,
hey
yeah.
Matt Pat, we want some royalty for that. Just like shout out our podcast or something, okay?
Hashtag shout us out, Matt Pat.
Because you're definitely watching this right now.
He could be.
He's not going to be one of the 2 people watching us so far.
Not yet.
He's like sitting there like, new film theories.
He's like sitting there taking notes. New film theories. Thanks, fellas.
I shall not credit you at all.
No, I feel like he wouldn't do that. He seems like a genuinely nice guy, and I'm glad him and his wife have a kid now.
Oh yeah, they're a very cute couple, and he is so nerdy, and I am here for it. But dude, I have one last thing I had to talk about Old Yeller for.
All right.
The freaking leg wound.
The which one?
The freaking leg wound.
Oh, dude, that was. First of all, let me tell you something about Travis that pissed me off.
Okay.
The boy was a fucking idiot.
He was a kid, Devin.
Well, first of all, he only got in. Oh, that is true. He is a kid, but like he didn't think rationally, bro. Like that's like when they were trying to get the baby calf. The mom warned him. He's like, you got to make sure you're far away from the mom, or she's gonna knock your teeth out.
Well, here's the thing. Yeller was like, if I'm not mistaken, in that scene, Yeller was just like, and the cat was like, I ain't doing this bullshit. I'm gonna stay right here.
No, the cat. They actually. Well, I say they fought, but it was more of a like Old Yeller kind of like they kind of charged at each other. Old Yeller.
Oh no. Like, hold up. Sorry, my forehead is burning. But no, like Old Yeller, like from what I can tell you from training, like as an ecology major and a person who study animals' behavior, like that was hurting. Like what Spike did in the movie, that was actual hurting, and I was like, I paused it, and I was like, the fuck? That's actual hurting, and I was like, and I googled it, and I was like, okay, sheep herding, and I was like, okay, cattle herding, and dude, this dog knew how to herd, like legitimately. Like this is why I was praising them for how well they were trained. But what I'm talking is with the boar scene, okay? When he gets mauled by the boar,
Yo, that's another thing.
like the special effects for that, they ripped his pants leg, and like it was obviously just lathered like fake blood on his leg.
Bro, it
Okay?
looked gross. I ain't gonna lie. I knew it was fake, but it made me like I look.
Dude,
That's what I
it
had.
looked like they took a butter knife and was just like, oh yes, it's black and white. To believe this. Like this wasn't any. What's it?
That's where I started. That's where I left off at last night. I just started it up a couple minutes ago, and that's where I left off. I'm like, ew.
Dude, I remember that scene being so much scarier as a kid.
Yeah, that's like I said. Now that we're older, we're just like, ew. And I'm surprised Old Yeller didn't die right then and there. I looked at Old Yeller. I was like, I started to tear up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, Old Yeller ain't gonna make it.
Like I was like, oh, I wonder what my Apple Watch says my heart rate was, and it was like 83, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a bit spiked. My heart rate spiked when that happened. I was like, oh man.
Man, I felt a little emotion to Old Yeller getting.
Dude, I didn't cry, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I was on the edge of my seat. It was a pretty good movie overall. Like the special effects were good, I guess, for its time, because you got to remember it's black and white when this came out.
Hey, you know what I thought was funny that I've noticed with Travis? His hat was always sweaty.
Dude, they're in the middle of California, like in the middle of a field. Of course, they're sweaty.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny because you know how his hat was always sweat thing. You think in a movie they'd be like, "Oh, throw him a new hat." They just rolled with it.
Dude, I think it was Mr. Cersei. I remember, like, I looked over and I was like, man, this man looked like he just went for a swim.
Yeah, that's when he first showed up because he looked sweaty too. I was like, man, I'm surprised they ain't got him wiping off the sweat.
I'm surprised they didn't like cool him down. It was like, okay, come back, Mr. Cersei.
Nah, they said roll with it.
No, that's all my talking points I had written down. Yeah, what did you rate the movie, Devin?
Well, I was gonna talk about what else?
Oh, if you got more to go, let us go to commercial and then you can continue, okay?
That's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say. I thought here, last thing.
Okay.
This before I rate the movie, this made me laugh I don't know why, but this made me laugh so hard when the dad came back and he gave them the presents, and
I thought that was offensive. Like I get it was the time period, but like, oh yeah, we were protecting them from like Indians, but then you come back with a bunch of Native American memorabilia, and it's just like, oh, that's uncomfortable.
it's called a headdress. Wait, is it called a headdress?
It's called a headdress.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
I like the headdress. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I wish I had one of those. But I don't know why. I found it so funny. You know, I was like, that headdress is cool. You know, he's got the toy axe, and he's like, I'm an Indian. Woo! And I don't know why. I mean, I should be offended, but I was not offended. I thought it was just funny. And you know, you got the little puppy, because you know it was a big headdress, obviously, for his little body.
I was about to say they knew what they were doing with it being so big, but like, they knew they knew they were gonna get the puppy to like move along with them for like the cinematic scene of the puppy playing with it.
Oh, I thought it was funny because you can see the puppy trying to catch the tenant while he's running. That made me laugh. That was my good little. I don't know why I chuckled at that, but I chuckled a little bit. I was like, that's funny.
Well, it was a kid. It was an innocent kid, but like in 2021, like I got the. I know what we did wrong in those situations, because a lot of these people are being hunted to extinction off their land, and complete genocide. So I understand that, and that was a chief's headdress. It's implied that in the movie, their dad straight up murked Indians, you know,
Did he? I thought that. Yeah, because he
That
said they wanted to get. They called them savages.
yeah. Well, they also called them Indians, which is why I was. But I get it was a different time, but still, I mean, we can't overlook that. We got to take the good and the bad, even in the history. But
Lord, you don't want to watch Blazing Saddles. That movie. Ooh, you want to talk about a movie
you
that
know
could
what,
be made?
dude? Do you know what makes me mad?
What makes you mad?
Spirit. Spirit. Okay, so the original Spirit, it's
That
about how.
horse movie?
Yes.
The
Just bear with
animated one?
bear with me, okay?
I didn't like that movie.
Shut. I will slap you across the phone.
You liked it?
I loved that movie as a kid.
I couldn't.
Me and Isaiah watched it 4 times in a matter of a month.
I can't get into it. I'll be honest with you. It's beautiful animation, but
Here's my problem with the movie. Okay, so the
Alright.
original movie, so it's about how the Industrial Revolution is destroying nature, and the white man like pushing further to colonize more of America.
I
And,
thought it was during the Civil War.
It was after the Civil War. They were hunting Native Americans. That was like a whole big part of the movie. But then the second one is spirits with like white people, and they're like building up industries and everything. And the original movie was about how beautiful nature was, and about how like capitalism and the industrialism is like bulldozing. They're literally showing bulldozing of like native land and natural beauty. So, like in the second one, like the remake, like for the kids, it's just like, oh, we're best friends with white people, and white people have all these buildings we can run around in. It's messed up. All right, Devin, we need to finish this episode. What do you rate it?
Another thing. Did the movie feel like you were watching a play? I remember in the beginning, I guess because it was old cinematic. I'm sorry, I know you're trying to rate it. This was my last thought. Really, this was my first thought.
You
I guess
had a lot of last thoughts.
Sorry, I was trying to. This is my first thought. I should have started off with this. Did the movie feel like a play to you?
No.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe it was just the way they set up inside the cabin and interact, especially inside the cabin. I was like, I feel like I'm watching a play and not a movie.
Dude, it's made in 1957, so it might as well be. It was based off the book. You have scenes and acts and stuff like that, so it wouldn't be a weird thing.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, huh.
Okay, Devin, what do you rate this?
I'm gonna give it, hard film movie, rated G. It's not bad. Obviously,
not rated G.
It's not rated G?
Fairly certain it's not rated G.
Oh, probably PG, I bet.
Getting off track, and we need to finish this episode.
Oh, I'm sorry. So let's see. I love the old school animal training because that's something we don't see anymore.
Yes.
Acting was good. Didn't care for the ending, but it all had a good. It led to a new legacy with Yeller. That's another weird thing. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna just say I didn't like the ending, or really
No one likes the ending, Devin.
So I'm gonna take away points for that. I'm gonna give it 9 popcorn buckets.
Really, I'm giving it 8 popcorn buckets out of 10.
Really, why 8?
I thought there was some stuff that could be better. I thought there could be more. I think some characters needed to be fleshed out more. Just nothing major needed to be changed, but there definitely needed to be some like housekeeping, if you will, like update the characters to like fleshed out more. Maybe I don't know. I haven't personally read the book, but maybe there's more substance in the book to feed into it. But you do have the patriarchy stuff going into how the mother was portrayed, like very few lines, and then I get it's a kids movie, even if it is like a classic, but I feel like in certain areas it was lacking. Could not the animal training, it's the best I have seen.
Yeah, that's like I like the,
Like
it's
I
actual
like
animal.
out of like the 2000s and 90s and 80s and all those, I haven't seen a movie like this where the animals were treated well and actually proper trained. Um, this is something I haven't seen in a very long time in cinema.
That is true. That's like I'm so we now go to where the movie studios are like, we're not gonna pay for a live animal. Or did PETA had something to do with that? They're not being as
Oh no,
see.
CGI is like really a big thing now. So
That's what did PETA have something to do with that? With the whole animals being in movies things, or am I wrong? You know how?
PETA doesn't help, and we don't have time for all of PETA,
Oh,
especially
okay.
when we need it in this episode. This segment is 30 minutes on its own.
Oh, okay. I'm
Um,
sorry. I know you weren't trying to make this episode long.
well, I didn't think it was going to be long. I thought we were going to be about a 30-minute episode.
Oh,
But
well, I mean, we're like at
you,
yeah. Sorry.
like movies like Lord of the Rings have dead animals. Like animals were harmed in the filming of it. A lot of neglect goes into like bigger blockbuster movies, and typically when you do film with dogs, they have to CGI their tails out. So sometimes just CGIing a whole animal is just easier than actually training and getting a real animal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next Sunday, tune in for the Suicide Squad. Spoiler. This is a new one, so that just came out, so there will be spoilers. So if you're not looking to spoil it, go back, watch some of our older episodes. We've got the Random Hour, we've got more sports, we've got plenty of other stuff you can watch before you watch that. So we don't spoil it for you. So just a disclaimer now.
The Suicide Squad 2021 spoilers ahead. That's like in the description. You might need to put that and just put in big
I
exclamation.
already have it in the description.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've already have it written down.
You just need to have
Dude.
like big exclamation points with a little red flag. Maybe get the. Is there an emoji? You remember how you
I'm not putting emojis in it.
Oh man, you remember the what's it called when you shouldn't go through it? You know the term red taping?
No.
Well, that's an old saying. My grandfather taught me. He's like, red taping's a spoiler. Like, you don't cross the red tape or you'll get a spoiler.
Okay. But yeah. Check that out. And that's about it. I think we can end it.
All right.
All right, Devin. What's your last words?
My last word is the best dog in the West, Old Yeller.